Well, I see a lot of smiling faces, and that is awesome. And thanks, Hannah, for cutting the recording on because I would forget. Hey, if you all would tell me where you are right now and what you are wanting or hoping to get out of this call. I would just love to hear that. So, Houston, Jessica in Houston, Louisiana for somebody with an iPad, Los
Louisiana.
Angeles. Right on. Raleigh, Maine, California, Oklahoma, Bloomfield, New Jersey, London, UK. Welcome, Sarah. California, Arkansas. Right
Louisiana.
on. Right on. Louisiana. Right on. Um, Andrea in Florida. Better relationship with my animals and myself. Great to see you guys.
Um,
Learn wanting to learn more about helping dogs. Sergey from Monterrey. Bienvenidos. And wow, so we're all over the country. We've got some uh, folks in Mexico joining us. I'm in Montenegro right now. Jennifer is looking at what we've got. She's a vet tech, and we do have 40 race credits for you from the program. So that's awesome. Uh, Marianne's learning more for her nonprofit as a board member, right on. RVN also want to learn more, right on. Jessica's also a vet tech, sweet. New wisdom regarding animals for my energy healing practice for them. That is amazing. Really, really cool stuff. And all over the country. Really excited to see this, that you all are here. You're all wanting to learn more. Um, right on nutritional consultation practice, Tim. Well done. So let me tell you a little bit about how this call is going to go today. And what I'm going to do is give you some information about the program, about the difference that it's beginning to make already for pets. Talk to you a little bit about what some of our coaches are already up to and get you the information you need to make a decision about whether this is a thing that you want to move forward with. We've got several of our graduate coaches on with us. One is Kara Hanrahan, who is there is Raw Pod Ventures. Kara is also a nurse practitioner and intensively studying functional medicine in all of her spare time with the Institute for Functional Medicine. So we've got some folks from all different walks of life. We've got folks that have been groomers. We've got folks that have been pet sitters, dog walkers. So I am super excited to talk a little bit more about what we're doing. I think also Sandy is here, and Sandy was in insurance for a lot of her life. Claudia is here as well, one of our other coaches. Awesome to see. And then Rena Gresset, I think, will be joining us. Rena has worked as a pet sitter for many years and has been working in a boutique pet shop until COVID and then kind of switched things around. Um, right on. So here we go. So first of all, I want to congratulate you for getting on this call because change is hard. I mean, it just is. It's so easy to just keep doing our regular thing and stay stuck. Um, but it takes grit to for something different. And you've shown grit and determination just by being here. You're looking for a different life for yourself and also for the dogs and cats you want to help. So, first of all, if you haven't today, pat yourself on the back for looking for a different way because we need a different way. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts. I am what we now call a slow mad, meaning that we will spend 2 to 3 weeks and sometimes a few months in a place before we move on to the next place. Currently, we're in Montenegro. My wife Mary Jo and I and our little dog Hayo live here. We ended up buying an apartment here. It's a lovely country. just because the powers that be don't like it when you don't have a physical location. They get a little wigged out about that. Uh, I've been a veterinarian for 34 years, and I've been certified in acupuncture, Chinese veterinary herbology, and Chinese food therapy, as well as natural animal nutrition. And I did indeed study functional medicine, took the IFM week-long course in 2012. I had sold my brick and mortar practice in South Carolina in 2016 and started full-time travel in 2018 and started doing one-to-one consultations that really were more like second opinions, to be true, but also giving pet parents options in terms of food, Chinese herbal medicines, and various other techniques that would help them help their pets without having all those meds, and then trying to make sure that we got them the best option for that pet. And really, what I was doing in brick and mortar practice was more integrative medicine, meaning integrating all of the things that we have to use, including conventional medicine when we need that, and Chinese medicine, functional medicine as well. So as we were traveling and doing these consults, I met Rosie and her mom, Janice, who I'll talk a little bit more about in just a moment. But because of their experience during COVID, this is really where this program was born. Um, so we started it in June of 22, and 2 years in, we now have 75 graduates, and we have another 125 students already enrolled, and we are enrolling about 15 to 20 students per month. So my goal again is to help you understand what this course can do for you, what it offers, what's included in the course, and then help you determine if this is the right next step for you, because we want you to be confident that you're going to get the support and the information you need to move forward. So before we move, Ardita, that's amazing. Your family's from Montenegro and you are Albanian. So I am in Bar. So that's crazy, crazy good. Um, but before we move forward, what I want to ask you is how many of you think that you can't improve the health of dogs and cats without being a veterinarian? Would you put that in the chart if you've been told that? Yeah, I've been told that. No, I've not been told that. Who knows? So, yeah, you've heard it, you haven't heard it. If you've heard that, I am here to tell you that that is not true. And I'm going to tell you a quick story about Natalie and Jagger. Natalie is one of our mentors. Um, she that means she's completed the course, and she's one of the people that help students understand the material, do well on their examinations, understand how to support clients. So in January, her dog Jagger's a 10-year-old mix. She thought he was perfectly happy and healthy, went to the vet for routine lab work, and the vet calls her 3 days later and says, "Oh, Natalie, I don't know how to tell you this, but Jagger's liver enzymes are horrible, are horrible." And literally, the alkaline phosphatase, which is, should be about 250, was over 3,500. This is astronomically high. And other liver enzymes were elevated as well. So it was going to be a week before Jagger could get an ultrasound of the abdomen. And in the meantime, Natalie started working on changing the food to make sure that anything Jagger was sensitive to was pulled out. She pulled out any supplements she was suspicious that may have created a problem, and she started using liposomal glutathione and a couple of other things to help the liver function more normally. So in that next week, she went to the vet and got the ultrasound done. And there was a little mass on the liver. So the veterinarian says to her, "Well, I think it's Cushing's disease, but you better go see an oncologist because he may have liver cancer." So Natalie did that. A week later, the oncologist said, "No, that mass is not creating these crazy high numbers." Natalie said, "That's a relief to hear. Could you check his liver values for me to make sure where we are. Are we getting better, staying the same, getting worse? So the oncologist did that, and already just by changing the food and adding a couple of supplements and taking out things she was suspicious about, the alkaline phosphatase had dropped by 60%. So that's pretty awesome. Natalie is very happy about that. She went back to see her local vet. The vet said, "Oh, I think it's still Cushing's." And Natalie said, "Okay, thank you very much. I'll just think on that test for a little bit." Right on, Jennifer. Food heals. So two weeks later, Natalie found a new veterinarian who was like, "Okay, yeah, I get what you're doing here. That's all cool. How can I support you?" They repeated the ultrasound. The mass in the liver hadn't changed. Repeated lab works. We're now 1 month in from this initial set of lab values, and everything was down to normal except for the ALP, which was now down to about 575. So amazing. By Natalie knowing what to do and how to talk to veterinarians and being confident that no, Jagger didn't need a CT scan, which would involve anesthesia to evaluate if he could have this liver tumor removed. And no, Jagger didn't need a Cushing's test. Um, he saved Jagger a lot of discomfort, a crazy wild potential goose chase on Cushing's, and Jagger now, here it is October, he's doing things he hasn't done for 3 to 4 years. And she thought Jagger felt well. He's doing stuff that's just blowing her mind. So I'm here to tell you, you do not need to be a veterinarian to make a big impact in our pets' health. We know we need veterinarians to help support us, and they do amazing things. We also are in a position to be able to support them because they are overwhelmed, overrun, and I don't know how they're keeping their heads above water because it is really tough right now. And for those of you that are veterinary technicians, you all are on the front lines. You all have been bearing the brunt of the frustration of clients and trying to keep all the balls up in the air so that your doctors can do a good job. So kudos to you for keeping it all up in the air. You all are the unsung heroes in veterinary medicine. I think you don't get near enough credit. So what I would like to do is ask Kara to talk to you a little bit about her experience, why she decided to do this program when she already was a highly credentialed professional, and what her experience has been since she's graduated, and how she's been helping pets. So, Kara, if you're here, that would be amazing. There you
Hi,
are.
can you guys hear me? I was having some audio issues.
We got you.
Okay, great. So why did I end up here? So I've worked in healthcare for almost a decade as a nurse and then a nurse practitioner. All very conventional, and that included everything conventional for my pets. And I never thought about any other way. I got a dog, my first dog, never had a childhood dog. And within a few months of having him, I realized that he had some issues. He was eventually diagnosed with chronic pancreatitis, which did fit the bill. Um, but it wasn't until I had done a lot of pushing and requested blood work that I finally got anything done in my conventional veterinary office. And this is a dog who would have vomiting episodes every few months, never had a solid stool in his life. It was like the pudding poop emoji we all use on the iPhone, right? He had food avoidance, he was skin and bones, and so finally he gets diagnosed with pancreatitis. And he was put on a prescription kibble, which didn't help. He got lots of rounds of metronidazole, which didn't help. He was on that prescribed probiotics. It didn't help. And finally, one day I said, this cannot be it. This is not quality of life for him. Nothing conventional is working. What do I do? So I fell into the deep, dark pit of the internet and finally found, I think it was a Pet Summit. Um, I think Dr. Judy Morgan's Pet Summit was the first thing that finally came up for me. So I watched it and everybody was talking about fresh food for dogs. And I was like, well, that sounds crazy. People food for pets. but I was at my wit's end, so I tried it. And he has been on fresh food for 2 years now, and he has never had another pancreatitis flare. 2 years, and he used to not be able to go 2 months without a flare up. And I realized immediately that this is what we were missing. And so, I really took a deep dive into this, and it took me a while to figure it out on my own. There's a lot of different resources out there. If you ask a question in a Facebook group, you'll have 100 different people give you 100 different answers. So it can make it really difficult to kind of figure out what direction to go in, what's most appropriate, what's a good resource, what's tried and true. I didn't know about pet coaches back then. I didn't even know about canine nutritionists back then. I just knew about vets and pet parents. Um, so eventually, once I got my fur babies up to snuff, uh, excuse me, guys, sorry about that. Once I got my fur babies up to snuff, I realized that I wanted to be able to help other people because it took me a while to figure it out on my own. So the first thing I did was I became a canine nutritionist through the Feed Real Institute. But then that was not enough for me because I really wanted to be able to apply more than just food to help. And so eventually I came across Dr. Ruth in this course, and I said, well, this definitely seems like the missing link for me. So I enrolled. I have a bad habit of speeding through things, so I consumed it very quickly. But it was a great way to put my foot into the water of holistic health, beyond just what you learn about in terms of canine nutrition. And it really allowed me to be able to look at the whole animal instead of just like a body system, which is what we're taught in conventional medicine. And turning down this path has actually completely changed my perspective on medicine for people. And like Dr. Ruth said, I'm now in school getting my certification for functional medicine for people so that I can do this for people and for pets. I started my own business. It's Raw Paw Adventures. I do nutrition consultations, advanced wellness consultations. I help people transition to fresh food, and I help them target chronic medical conditions through food and holistic practices.
That's amazing. And you're still working full time as a nurse practitioner and taking on just crazy functional medicine certification. So you are a dynamo for sure. Um, so thank you for sharing all of that. So do you all get this? Is that, I mean, this is partly how we all come to looking for options, right? We've had a health challenge ourselves. Our pets have health challenges. Marianne's saying, I swear I'm having the same issue with my one cat. So, it's just frustrating. And this is how I came to integrative medicine as a veterinarian. I wasn't making the difference I wanted to make. And so that's where traditional Chinese veterinary medicine was a big boost. And then adding in functional medicine was a game changer on top of that. And the original crock pet diet is a home cooked way to feed your pet. So if I was able today to help you learn how to help pets with food, proper supplementation, lifestyle management, show you exactly where to start and get you the step-by-step course that's going to take you from where you are now to from frustrated and fed up in many cases, to being a certified holistic pet health coach and connect you to a community of your tribe who's willing to help you on your journey. If I could help you do this, would this make sense to you? Is this where you want to head? Let me know in the chat. Tell me what you got going on. Right on, right on, right on. Super, Sarah. I'm super, Adele. Super, Kim. Sergey, right on. I had the pleasure of meeting Sergey in San Diego, which was amazing. Right on. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So while you guys are commenting, and I love this, I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I started this program. I started telling you about Rosie and Janice, and the deal is that Rosie's a 15-year-old West Highland White Terrier, and she had a myriad of issues, which just were just daunting. So kidney disease, all sorts of crazy stuff going on. And Janice, Sarge, she'd gone blind. She had hypothyroidism. She had a horrible skin condition. She had all sorts of stuff going on. So Janice had worked with an internal medicine specialist, and she'd worked with her local vet and had made some amazing changes for Rosie, but she still wasn't uh, where she wanted to be. So we started working together. And during COVID, she was staying steady, staying steady. And this baby had kidney enzyme elevations, like she was in stage 4 disease. Her creatinine was something like 12, but she was still balanced and doing well. So Janice takes her to the internal medicine specialist the next month, and the doc says, "Well, Janice, I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid there's nothing more I can do for Rosie. Her kidney disease has just gotten too severe, and this is kind of it. So I can give you some information on home euthanasia services, but really, I don't think I have anything else I can offer you." Well, Janice is confused because Rosie's acting the same as she did a month prior. She's eating the same, all of these things. So she says to the doc, I don't know what you mean. I don't understand. Rosie's feeling fine. And, um, and so Janice says, so the doc says, sorry, my screen dropped off. Who knows where it went? The doc says, well, Janice, I'm sorry, but this is really all I can do to support you right now. So Janice says, okay. She pays the bill. She gets a copy of the lab work. She goes to the car. On the way to the car, she looks at Rosie and says, I don't know what's going on, but we're going to find another way. She gets in the car. Rosie's creatinine has increased by zero point 0.1. So nothing had really changed, but for whatever reason, the internal medicine specialist had just given up. So Janice called me. We worked to find her another veterinarian who could support her, and we got some additional supplements put in, but also something to support the hyperphosphatemia. And what happened is that Rosie lived another year with really high quality of life. So I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking, what if Janice didn't have me? What would have happened? And so I built this program, the Holistic Pet Health Coach Certification Program, because of Rosie. We know that there is a huge shortage of veterinarians already. And Mars has done a study because they own 40% of veterinary medicine. And they believe we will be 24,000 veterinarians short by 2030. And we're already 12,000 short. So this is not going to get easier. This is super frustrating. Um, the other thing I want you to be aware of is that there's so much you can offer pet parents. And even if it's just holding their hands on the way, on figuring out how to talk to the vet, how to support their pets, the questions to ask, you're going to make a huge difference. So, what I want to do right now is show you a little bit about what's in the course. The course itself is built on a platform called Circle. This is where the course is, our community is, everything, because we wanted it to be completely under our control instead of using a Facebook group. And I think that, you'll agree there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there in Facebook land, but this is a way that we make sure all of our conversations stay private. The first is this is the mentor's office hours. When you enter the program, you'll be assigned a mentor, and this person will help you learn as you go. They will do a one-to-one consultation with you so that you understand the coaching process. And then they have office hours every week where you can jump on with all of the students that they're mentoring, ask questions, get information, get help, get support. The next part is the actual course area. So this is what this looks like. We have a total of 14 modules. Each of them are laid out into different sections. There is a workbook for every module so that you have kind of the uh, cheat sheet or Cliff Notes version of that module. Very handy. Each module requires a kit quiz, and then we also do ask for homework, some of which will be written, but much of which will be a video. And the reason we do this is that we want you to be able to say cohesively and coherently the information that that pet parent needs to understand to help their pet move forward. It is the most frustrating part of the course for everybody, but by the time that folks get to the end of the course, they are speaking clearly, concisely, and in a way that anyone can understand, and they're able to help explain what's going on to that pet parent. The graduation requirement, the final exam, if you will, is 2 video recordings with 2 separate clients where you're actually helping them work through what's going on with their pets. But in between here and there, we get you started on the technology, which is the thing that no one likes to do. So we, have you do that first so it's done, so that by the time you get to the end of module 5, you can start working with clients. Module 2 is some information on marketing, which we think is important for you to start thinking about early on. We don't require the homework for you are to module 10 because your thinking is going to shift. And then we start into the meat and potatoes, if you will. So talking about functional medicine, traditional Chinese veterinary medicine, what integrative medicine is, and then some of the aspects of traditional Chinese veterinary medicine, including the pet personality form and clinical signalment. Then we start talking about food. Because I trained in TCBM, I teach cooked diets. We do have many folks that are raw feeders. We also have a collaboration with the Billinghurst Institute and Dr. Ian Billinghurst to teach you the basics of raw feeding. And we also will be collaborating with Feed Real Institute as well. So this goes through how to use the original Crock Pet diet for people, for pets, and how to modify it. And then we get into the gut and using tests to help determine food sensitivities, how to make that get better and seal up for dogs and cats. And then we start working through the major organ systems, the liver, the kidney, the endocrine system. We've got another chunk on business management so that you can start to think about how to set up your business before you graduate, and then complete the rest of the modules, the skin, musculoskeletal system, brain behavior, neurological, emotional aspects, cancer and autoimmune disease. And then there is also this heart module, which we did, so you'll understand some basic information on heart function and how to support pets that are experiencing that. I mentioned we have a community within Circle, and indeed, you can ask questions and hear your colleagues and your colleagues to be will support you as well. There is so much knowledge within this group. It's amazing. You can post lab work, which I'll review either in Circle or on our coaching calls. And indeed, we have coaching calls every Monday. So it is just an astonishing amount of information and support. In the supplementary sections, we've got protocols, different PDFs that you can download to help support you and your clients. And then this is sort of what it looks like in just on the as you come into the space. So you'll see things that have been posted recently, our upcoming events, posts that are really trending within the group. And then we just had a training, for instance, with Dr. Chris Besant. But every month we have somebody come in to the International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association, which is our postgraduate Association to provide additional education, business information. We also have in that program a business building meeting every month, every week. Dr. Linda Loudon with the Canine Business Institute has joined us as well. So that's been amazing. And then I think yeah, yeah. And again, this is in the postgraduate group with all of the information that's available, all of the affiliate offers and wholesale accounts that are available to you. And then lastly, we have a Facebook group of over 53,000 people that are there for you to get help from you. It's difficult. It's a slog because they're like, what? What's a coach? But what's happening is the coaches are able to support pet parents and give them information. And eventually, many of these folks will end up starting to trust you and may hire you to do some work with you. Um, and then we also have a free community within Circle. We've got about 2,000 folks here, where it's a little calmer, a little more focused on what you all are doing. So that's what's available in the course area. Um, the Let me stop the share for a second. So that's a lot of info, and it's a lot of support as well. So we've got a couple of other folks on here that are graduates. And Lisa, if you wouldn't mind saying a couple of words about how you came to this program and what you've been doing since you've graduated, that would be amazing.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. Um, so nice to see everybody. Um, so the reason why I came in is because of my Bodhi. And I found Dr. Ruth. I was following her on her Facebook. And one day I do healing work for humans. And one day I said, there must be more I can do. And scrolling through my email, I saw Dr. Ruth's email for the workshop. And when I came on, it was just resonating for me because I want to extend Bodhi's life. And since I've been doing that, it's been great. I helped a lot of my neighbors. I give and had some great miracles with mainly with food, and that's been really simple and easy to help other pet families, pet parents. And I started a walking dog business in my community to also and that was a great introduction for me to say, "Oh, what are you feeding your animals?" And it's 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 great, and I'm learning so much, and every day it's just something new. So yeah, so thank you for listening, and I'm so happy everybody's on here.
Right on. And I want to respond to a few of these comments. Some of you all have some amazing, amazing stories. Um, Marianne, that you're absolutely right. The pets that are adopted out are so important to us. And the goal is that, you will be able to help support many of these chronic issues with food, with supplements. And Linda, good for you. You're already doing this work, and that's my goal is to give you the things that will fill in the gaps so that you have a more complete picture of how to support these guys. Um, yeah, and Tina, if you've got a kitty that's vomiting, I mean, this is exactly where you will learn how to support these kitties and more using food, that all of that good stuff. Jennifer, holistic incontinence support, exactly. So part of it is food, part of it is um, supporting that pet to resolve the incontinence using Chinese herbal formulas, all of that good stuff. Uh, and yeah, Tanya, you've got the same issue, and so do you, Brandy. It's a quite an interesting and unfortunately extremely common issue. Deborah, this is an amazing story. You were given 4 days to live 3 years ago, dropping 15,000 bucks on a heart surgery. You're so good for you that you got your dog through all of this crazy stuff. Um, so that is amazing good stuff. And she started a Malarux Organic Dog Treats. Right on. Uh, so this would be a great asset to what you're doing already. Amelia is a former ER vet tech and has been in behavioral health since becoming physically disabled. I mean, this is just amazing. She's learned enough to improve her own issues, and she's been able to help recover her young cat from allergies and urinary crystals. So, right on. So you've already got the idea that if you go to Whole Food, a lot of these things will go on. Um, and
Mhm.
Jennifer's an on-call triage tech. So exactly, this would be a great fit for you. You can work around your schedule. Uh, right on. Rebecca healing her 13-year-old pup with a torn ACL with red light therapy. And there you go. Uh, just very simple things can have a massive impact. And Audrey, thanks. Yeah, Audrey's another coach. I'll ask her to come on in a moment too, and we've got a couple of minutes. Tammy, you're a chiropractor with a certificate in animal chiropractic. And in your state, you're not allowed to give nutritional advice for my pet patients. So this is an interesting thing. So on the human side, what many doctors are doing in order to be able to support patients across state lines is they're becoming certified as human health coaches, and then they're giving lifestyle medicine. So what you would need to do is sort of separate the chiropractic work you're doing from the health coaching work. And I think if you do that, then you get around this issue of some of the boards. Um, so it's kind of an interesting concept. Kim, how are vets responding? This is an interesting thing. We were at the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association meeting in Reno, and it was quite interesting. The response was, oh my God, you're teaching them to do procedures, which I'm not sure how they got that, or you're teaching them to do things that only veterinarians should do. So there was that, and the conversations were immediately stopped before I could actually explain to them what I am teaching you all. And then the other response was, oh my God, I need help desperately. And in fact, Jan, who's on here, was there. We had spent quite a bit of time talking with Dr. Shunt, who he works for, and talking about how we could help him help the doctors in the practice breathe a little easier and help the clients understand a little more deeply about what they needed to do with somebody that has the time and the patience to walk them through those explanations. And Cheryl is a full-time student at Unity Environmental University in the Animal Science Bachelor's program. Um, and yes, this would, and in fact, it will probably elevate off of your existing knowledge into a place where uh, I think those courses are not going to be able to take you. We do teach, Kelly, we do teach basics on lab work so that you'll have an understanding about how to look at the labs and get the basic idea of what's going on. Um, Kim, right on, making herbal body products for humans and dogs. This is a great adjunct to where you are. Um, I mean, you're in this right place. And Kelly's an FDN. I think we've got 5 or 6 FDNs that have come through the program, and it is like crazy good. There are not super good functional ranges established. And so a lot of times what we're doing is looking at what did this pet's lab work look like when it was 6 months old or a year old? And then we can make adjustments from there. Um, Ardita is unemployed, recently unemployed data scientist. Um, right on. So, I mean, this is the thing, you're already starting to work into it. So, Vivian, can you make a living with this? Yes, you can. It is slow going. There's no two ways about it because this is a brand new profession. But again, part of what we do is give you the information you need to move forward and to build a business. So we've got some very exciting new concepts coming, which when they're solidified, I will be able to speak more about. But from day one, once you go through the gut course, I want you to start talking to pet parents about how to support their pets with food, and how to heal the gut. And I think with the level of information you will have gotten in those 5 modules, you'll be able to do that. Plus, you've got all of us in the community and the coaching calls and your mentor office hours to back you up. So, right on. You guys are here. You're clear on what you want to do. So, I've talked about almost everything. I know how expensive education can be, and getting that investment back is tough. So, the thing is, this program is truly unique because it gives you support not only from me, but from your fellow coaches, graduate coaches, and your mentors. So, what I want to talk to you about now is the nuts and bolts. What does this thing cost? What's my investment going to be? And how am I going to make this make sense? So, if we dial down into it, the course itself we've got a couple of options going on this month in terms of bonuses. So the course itself is 6,000. If you pay in full, it is a 1,000 discount right off the top. We also do have payment plans available, so that many of us need to break it down, and I get it. If you do regardless of what you choose, whether it's a pay in full or whether it's a for-pay, we will give you an additional $750 off. And you'll also get a bonus 2-hour getting started with social media mini course, if you will, which we'll be doing on the 14th of December. Now, again, if you pay in full, $1,000 discount plus 6 months free access to International Holistic Pet Health Coaching Association. So in total, that's $1,750 off the course, plus the bonus social media, plus 6 months of International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association, which is a $500 bonus. And if you need to use that for-pay plan, we will ask for $500 of an enrollment fee, normally upfront, plus $1,000 is the first installment. And then after that, it would be $1,500 a month. But because you're getting $750 off, you can apply that discount equally across all 4 payments or to specific amounts. You will get 2 months free access to the International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association. And also, you will get the social media bonus. And Hannah, if you could drop that link, if you want to get started with this and join this group of beautiful people that's making a massive change in the world in how pets are being taken care of, how they're being supported, Hannah's going to drop a link where you can make a deposit for $250. And then what we're going to do is get you on a call with Rana, our sales counselor, ASAP, so that she can explain the rest of the options to you and really get you going, so we can get you started as soon as possible. So does that make sense to you so far? Are you with me on this? It's sounding good. Are you guys in? Are you out? Are you not sure?
No, take a look at it.
There you go. Go look at it. But
Yeah.
what I want to say to you is this, is that it's going to be hard for you to make a change from your current career. For some of you, you've been given an open door if you were recently let go of a job. And Wesley, right on. A career change, the investment is worth it. Thank you. I mean, you're in there cranking it out. And so it's crazy, 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 amazing what folks are able to do very, very quickly. So my goal is to take you from frustrated about pet health and where you are in your life, frustration level, and get you to be part of the solution. So for those of you that are not sure, there's a couple of things that go through most folks' heads. And one is, if you feel like you don't have time to do this, it is a time commitment. So in total, there is about 16 weeks, 14 to 16 weeks of material. You can have up to 6 months to complete the course. And that's going to make a time investment for you of about 10, somewhere between 5 and 15 hours a week, depending on where your current level of education is. And if you don't do anything, nothing is going to change. You're going to stay in that place of pain. And one of the things I want you to remember is that Gandhi did not say, let me be the change I want to see in the world. He actually said, if we could change ourselves, then the tendencies in the world would also change. As a person changes their own nature, so does the world's attitude towards them. We need not wait to see what others will do. So y'all, this is it. If we wait for this to be a big thing, it's going to take a long time. But yes, it's important to start making that change. And there are indeed pet parents that desperately need your help and will not get that without you. So let me answer a couple of more questions in here. So Tiffany, yes, we touched about the legalities behind giving medical advice. And I think this is the thing you need to know right now. The words diagnose, treat, and prescribe will never come out of your mouth. Promise me that right now. What you are doing is giving lifestyle modifications. And so what you're doing is helping pet parents understand how to feed, how to exercise, how to use supplements, how to use mindfulness practices for themselves to help support the pets. And right on. And the thing that's super, super unclear is making sure that you know when to refer to a veterinarian and when things are getting outside of your scope. So this concept is best based on health coaching on the human side. And the idea with health coaching was that here are trained individuals that can help you learn how to use lifestyle modifications to support pets. We're not diagnosing, treating, or any of these things. So that's the difference. Yeah, Dr. Sally Lane and Dr. Magda. So that's precisely it. The other way you can support Tiffany would be as your role as a registered veterinary technician in having that education to support continued patient education from the veterinarians. So again, helping the pet parent understand what the vet said, what is likely to happen if they do nothing, and what they can do, what can happen when they are able to make these changes. Yeah, and Jennifer, yes, there is an animal naturopathy course for $89. There's also another one this company put up um, for holistic pet coaching. And I bought that course to see what's there. And basically it's 120 PDFs. This is videos, audio downloads, transcripts, and personalized one-to-one support. And Stacy, I think Rana has dropped you a link to book a call with Rana so that she can walk you through this. And I get it, Brandy, it's tough times out there. So we're all working on figuring out a different way. So again, cost can be a big issue. But if you're in a position to do this, this is a way to move yourself forward so that you are able to make a change in your life and, more importantly, a change in the way pets are being supported. I think many of us are worried that I'm afraid I'm gonna mess up and do something to harm a pet. The goal again, Tiffany, back to your question, is everything I'm going to teach you is meant to be delivered as lifestyle modification. And while there are some potential pitfalls with supplements like loose stool or vomiting, most of those stop when you stop the supplements, and then you can help that pet parent reset. So my goal is to teach you things that will do no harm so that you can support pet parents. The one of the other things is, we are in very uncertain economic times. One of our coaches, Melissa, was saying to me today that she did this program because it gave her a sense of hope in life. And she's coming from financial services background. And that is a crazy industry if you know anything about it. And because she felt this sense of hope, she was able to commit fully and get onto the program and start to make impact for others. So the other thing I want you to realize too is that in urban situations where there are holistic veterinarians, that's great. But in the middle of the country, so there's, to give you some frame of reference, 78,000 small animal vets in the United States, 1,500 members of the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association. There is not enough holistic vets to go around. And so if we don't start to provide pet parents with information that has been literally vetted and is based on science, it is going to leave them out in the cold. They'll have no options. And that's the other problem. So let's see. I think, Jennifer, you're asking how often do we offer this? It is enrolling. The enrollment process is ongoing. So when you're ready, we are ready to get you started. And yeah, Claudia did not have a medical background or business, and she went to college for something totally different. So this has been a very big change for her. And then how quick can you start making money to pay the course off? Again, Jennifer, my goal is to get you doing inexpensive consultations one-to-one with pet parents, supporting them on food options. For those of you that don't know, the original Crock Pet diet is complete and balanced for all life standards according to AAFCO, for all life stages according to AAFCO standards. So the magic words that most veterinarians are a little more comfortable with, but still a little suspicious of because it's home cooked food. And that's the deal, is that we want to make sure that we are not harming pets. And so this is a way to do that. We teach you how to transition them. We teach you how to build diets specific to what that pet's needs are. And you can start with as little as $25 a consultation. There is a way to get this course paid off pretty darn close to the time you graduate, and that is by doing the work, not only on the course, but also in your business so that you are starting to build it as you go. It is a painful process because most of us are introverts, right? This really requires you to step out and show your passion, show what you want to do to change the world. So remember that no matter how scary things are right now, no matter how much turmoil there is, working for yourself does give you some level of control. And also remember, if Rosie hadn't inspired me to take a chance on building this course, it wouldn't exist. And there are literally at this point thousands of pets that would not have been helped. If Natalie didn't know what she learned in this course, how do you think Jagger would be doing now? Do you think he would have had a CT scan, had a tumor removed, had Cushing's test, and gone down that pipeline, which wasn't quite the right way to go? And Ardita, right on. There you go. So you already helped somebody switch to fresh raw food diet. $25 is better than free, and you know what is going on. And y'all, yes, this is recorded, and so we will have some replays available. All right. What can I do to help you? What other questions have you got? I want to hear them. Let me see if I can help you understand a little bit more. And then we're getting close to our hour, so we'll wind up soon. Cool. So pop those questions in there. Again, I'm going to remind you of what the offer is, and that is for folks that can pay in full, $1,000 discount right off the top with an additional $750 off if you commit by midnight PST. 6 months of free access to the International Holistic Pet Health Coach Association. And then the bonus is the 2 hour getting started with social media. And then if you want to use the 4 month pay in full or 4 month payment program, then you're going to have this 50-50 split over 4 months, and you'll get 2 months of access to International Holistic Pet Health Coaching Association and the 2 hour getting started with social media workshop. So you get so much stuff in the course. You get me on coaching calls every week. You get your mentor with office hours every week. You get the community in Circle to support you as well. And Kelly, if you can't start till January, we're still going to be here for you. So I would encourage you to talk with Rana, figure out what's going on. And then Judy wants to hear from somebody that has taken the course that doesn't have medical background. That's certainly Lisa. And I think, Claudia, are you able to speak for just a moment?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. So, because you came, what were you doing before you came into the program?
So I went to college, well, back in the days for administration of justice, and I work in the field juvenile hall as an institution officer, and from there as a probation officer. So I was in that field for over 20 years. And towards the end, it's a burnout, and I really love animals. I have pets at home, and I needed a change. I just knew I wanted to do something different. And when my pets got ill, my cat and my dog, that's when I really started doing a research. And I thought there was like a better kibble. What's the better kibble that I could feed my cat? Because I could tell you a quick little story about my cat Twix. He suffered from UTI blockage, and I didn't know what to do. And I did a lot of digging too, like the other coaches probably did too. I had him on kibble diet since he was a baby, and I didn't know that was the cause. And so I did the operation for him with the vet, and he was okay. And then I tried to find the better kibble. So I only had him on kibble, no supplements, no extra vitamins, and it happened again. This time he almost died, and it was really horrible to see. He was bleeding, a puddle of blood, crying, screaming. I tried to hold him, and he would scream in pain. So I had to find an emergency to take him, and he survived. And the vet wanted me to put him back on a kibble. The Royal Canin in my heart told me not to do it. I even bought the bag because I was listening, and my heart said, don't do it. And I just kept looking, and I came across this course, the holistic course, and I had already was looking into it. And then I started feeding him homemade food. Then once I got into the course, I started feeding him Rockback diet. And then I bought him the omegas and the holistic total body support to balance it. And I thank you, Dr. Ruth, for doing this, because he is so strong. He eats a lot. He even wants more. He's strong. He's beautiful. He's still with me. He's not sick at all. He's doing wonderfully, and it's really helped him. I don't give him any more kibble, not even as a snack after what happened. So that's my story about why.
That's amazing. And that's the thing. You were able to do that just by changing his diet and adding a couple of supplements to support the underlying causes, right? So we're dealing with functional medicine ideas, If we've got a cat that's a dehydrated being and we feed it kibble, we're going to dry it out more. And then if we support the inflammation in the bladder with omega-3 fatty acids, glandular components, all of those things, then we can really transform what that cat is feeling and experiencing in life. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, can I add one more thing about?
Please.
Yes, I had absolutely no background in medical, no background in business. It's like I didn't even know what I was doing. But what really helps is the support in the circle. And I also joined to be a moderator in the website that Dr. Ruth has on Facebook. I mean, I'm slow to answer, but I always look back at my notes and I'll make notes and I'll type it up before I paste it on to give an answer. But that's good practice for me because it's helping me to remember things. So I have a lot of notes that I have saved on the computer. I've helped also pet parents in my neighborhood and friends. I have, they have bought some of the supplements and stuff so far. I'm starting to build up to where I want to call my business Fat Pets for Life. So I have the Instagram. So I'm getting there. And every week on the circle, there's a business meeting, Zoom, that we can participate in. And I'm really grateful for that because I've been attending that as much as I could. And there's one today actually later on, and I'll be on that one too. It really helps.
Right on. And actually BK Pets is doing the one this afternoon on dealing with social media. So we'll get some more help there too. But once somebody is asking in here about do we teach how to support asthma, help with asthma in cats? And the thing that I think is important is to understand the underlying concepts on why cats might develop asthma, because we're not teaching you how to treat something, but again, support the underlying concept. So allergies, inflammation, and then, what's the food doing in terms of, is it creating more problems? Is there gut health issues that are underlying? And really work from that perspective. Because if we target in on a specific condition or syndrome, we need to understand that. But that's really a veterinarian's domain, is to treat asthma. What we're here to do is to help the pet parent understand how to change the cat's life. So lifestyle, so exercise, activity, diet, supplementation, so that that problem is not such a massive problem in its life. And I hope that makes sense. Should every cat be on a probiotic? Probably not. And I think, again, this is where blanket recommendations that you see across the internet, a lot of times pet parents don't have the information to decide, is this right for my pet? Is this not right for my pet? So I hope that that's helpful too. So I think we're close to the end of our time. If you are, yeah, if you're ready to get started, if you're fairly sure you're ready to get started, the deposit is refundable. If you really need some more help, we want you to get on a call with Rana so that she can help walk you through this as well. I think Hannah's got that link coming up. Judy's asking what percentage of people who take the course, finish it, and are working. We have, I would say, 80 to 85% of the people that start the course finish it, and all of them are working in some capacity. So some of them are doing it as a part-time job. Some of them are stay-at-home moms that just want something that they feel brings value to the world, that they can do on their own time. And then Tim's asking, how do we determine a fair cost for our consultation services? Part of actually what I'm going to do tomorrow is teach some folks that joined our program a couple of months ago about how to use packages. And I think and this will become part of the regular business module in the third module. And what you need to do is figure out what is your total time invested in all of this, and then figure out what your base rate should be, meaning an hourly rate. Is it $25? Is it $50? Is it $100? I think when you're starting out, maybe your base rate is $25 an hour. Maybe as you gain experience, then it's $50 an hour. But what you need to consider is you're doing the consultation, which may be half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, but you've also prepared reading the records before. You've also are going to send that client some follow-up materials so that they have something written and clear. And I would suggest sending a recording of the call, because if you're like most of us and you're receiving that information and it's a different way of thinking, our eyes tend to glaze over in about 15, 20 minutes. So by providing something written and a recording of the call to your client, they have that to refer back to. And then you need to do follow-ups as well. So it's, you need to think about your total time invested in this. And so maybe it's $25, maybe it's $100 an hour, but you need to make sure that that makes sense for all the time that you're spending. Cool. Right. I think that's it. Any questions else that I did not answer for you? Thank you, Jan. It's really cool to see you, man. Mara's saying she's not ready for the course because of finances, and totally get it. It's tough out there right now. What I do suggest, many of you got the option to start with the original Crock-Pot diet. And that is a way to learn how to do, again, complete and balanced for all life stages, according to AAFCO standards, home cooked foods for your pet, for other pets. And so that's a great place to start, just learning about nutrition and the power of food. Cool. Yes, it's only for cats and dogs. We do have a number of coaches that are into exotics, and I see your ferret buddy there. And then also some folks that are into horses. But oh, nope, awesome. So that's the thing, is that these are basic principles you can apply to almost every situation. It is my pleasure. Glad you all could join. If you were, go book a call, go listen to the recording again if you need to, but go book a call and talk to Rana. Make sure that this is she can help you decide if this is right for you now. And if you're ready to get started, she will get you signed up ASAP. Thank you for your attention. I really appreciate you coming today, and hope to see you soon on our next coaching calls. Take good care.